I'm doing it for my daughter.
Matt Rucker, what's he doing? Oh, he's doing crypto. The guy from is that the guy from
Darius Rucker?
Hootie and the Blowfish?
Really kinda, like you mentioned, overcoming
This is Hootie and the Blowfish.
obstacles, opportunities that really people like me and you aren't supposed to have.
What?
It really kind of leveled the playing field to give those opportunities to people. And,
what is Hootie and the Blowfish?
Someone like myself.
Right. We don't have to. I want to see that. Hootie and the Blowfish going crazy with the cryptocurrency. Okay, back to our links here. Let's get back on the show program, guys. Please, let's focus up. What's Vilazodone? Vibird.
Oh, this girl.
Vilazodone. How does it work? Let's talk about it. Vilazodone is used for the treatment of depression, but it's not only an SSRI. Because of this piperazine ring in the structure, Vilazodone has agonism towards the 5-HT1A receptor. So it increases serotonin in two ways. By blocking the reuptake of it, and by also having partial agonism towards the 1A receptors, which I will show you in a second, but it allows the serotonin to pass through the neuron. This is why Vilazodone can cause an immediate increase in brain serotonin versus just SSRIs alone. They would take much longer. Immediately after taking Vilazodone, about half of your serotonin reuptake inhibitors get inhibited. And remember, it also binds to the 1A receptors, so now there is no more serotonin inhibition. This will allow serotonin to flow through the neuron and the neuron to fire and release serotonin into the synapse, which leads to the downstream increases in dopamine as well. So the downstream release of dopamine is what explains why Vilazodone has less sexual side effects and also why your mood increases. And also less weight gain. So overall, Vilazodone is a great treatment choice and you take it with food once a day.
I found that.
You what?
I found that. I like that girl.
I think... You ever see the video of the black guy in a courtroom and he's screaming at the lawyer? He's saying, "You should have died as a baby."
Yes.
White man, you got a thin skull. You got no muscle. You should have been dead as a baby.
Yeah.
I think that
is this girl a representation of that guy's sentiment?
In many cases, I think that sentiment holds true.
So he was right?
I think in that case he was right. Can we go to YouTube and type in "you should have been dead as a baby"?
Keep this girl in your mind, this little cutie. Which I think she ended up saying that it is shaved.
She ended up saying what? Jared Leto pays tribute to Chester Bennington. The Amber Heard's so hot.
Ugh.
Oh, that's it right there.
You should have died when you was a baby. You was a maggot. You should have died when you was a baby. Stillborn.
Stillborn.
So,
who was that bodybuilder on the other side?
Who's what bodybuilder?
The lawyer was a bodybuilder. You look over, it's a bodybuilder.
I think a friend of mine was saying that you know how when you work out, you're trying to perfect, you're trying to become a more perfect version of yourself, and there's this sort of idealized version of yourself that you aspire to be. You want to be this thing or whatever, or you could imagine it, even if you're not actively doing that, trying to get better. You could imagine a better version of yourself, and you could imagine an ultimate version of yourself that has all their shit together. And a lot of people, the ultimate version of themselves just wouldn't exist
if without working out.
No, the ultimate the best thing they could do to perfect themselves and perfect the world would be just to kill themselves.
No, I was working Hot Topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your nose pierced at Hot Topic. The best way you'd ever be.
So the antidepressant thing, a lot of the time, I have mixed feeling. Well, I mean, they're overprescribed, but they're also the people who get go back to 𝐇𝐲𝐝𝐿. The people who get the hots for antidepressants and think that they're cool
is bad. They're just
it doesn't really matter because this is a fucking human bug.
I dated a girl like this one time, and she's dead now from pills. She was cool too. She was actually kind of like this girl. She was kind of dorky, but really fragile, like a fucking porcelain vase of a person. And really heavily, she was a nurse, and she heavily believed in SSRI inhibitors. She was like, "Oh, I feel so much better now. I used to get so down in the dumps," and I'd be like. How down in the dumps are we talking? She's like, "Oh, I would just roll my car over and shit into someone's house." And I was like, "What?" And it was the craziest shit coming from this girl.
Damn.
She was tall, so that would like made it a little bit, but it was very like, what do you mean you got down in the dumps? Like I'm like thinking she's gonna say she like cut herself or something. She's like, oh, I would just get like totally drunk and fucking like fall down in restaurants and fall down across tables and shit.
Damn.
She was like, I guess her motor skills got fucked up when she used to drink. It was really funny, but like public nuisance, but like nice, pleasant, not like harming anyone, not like being mean or anything, but just like, oops, I fell onto the subway tracks.
Damn.
Because like blood rushed to my head because I'm like mentally unstable. So I guess the pharmaceutical company is creating a subculture where they appreciate it like weed. Because they're trying. That's even more than weed.
This is like a fucking CBD pitch.
This is a CBD pitch.
Right here.
Last week I was here talking to you about CBDs.
Well, what she needs to get into edibles and CBD to get off this stuff.
CBDE.
That's what we got to get. CBDE. We got to get into that. All right, let's see what else.
Got
what other links?
DHAA in it. Direct horsepower.
Is this her account? Can we click her name? Can we just see?
She probably got an OnlyFans. 187,000 people. Damn. She was talking about every page. She's like, I took one of these, and
damn.
Panda.
Oh man.
I got broads in Atlanta. Panda.
This is your pharmacist now?
This is scary.
Yeah, this is a little frightening.
If you take Perstique, you are safe from interactions of CBD. Perstique is already formed, and it is not metabolized.
Yeah, well,
by
actually,
CB6, so you're good to go. If you take a
not to burst your bubble there, Haley,
CBD,
but if it has less than 20% CBDAs and cannabinoids, then your SSI inhibitors, actually the synapse is going to fire only 50%. Exactly.
Perstique is already formed,
and then when you
is not metabolized by 2D6,
take my
so
300 through Venmo,
and then
I go to your apartment once a month.
Notice a decrease in efficacy of Effexor.
Mm,
Like if you're
because-
taking it for depression, some depression symptoms might come back. Okay, that's it. If you take
what is this supermodel saying? I can't even pay attention. I'm just too busy getting a hard on. All the blood's going to my dick. Holy shit. God, if this girl could stop talking, it's going to be embarrassing when I go in front of grown men.
Her tongue was cut off. Her nose was cut off. Her eyeballs were plucked out. Her legs were cut off. Her ears were cut off.
Is she an amputee?
Her tongue was cut off. Her nose was cut off. Her eyeballs were plucked out.
See if there's. Have you ever taken any of these?
No, never. This is a lot of shit.
There's a lot. Imagine if she's trying them all. Oh wow! Have you heard of modafinil?
Yeah, modafinil. Took modafinil.
Took
can
modafinil.
make you limitless? Let me show you how it works. Modafinil is a mild psychostimulant that increases wakefulness, improves attention, and enhances performance of cognition. It has two isomers. Modafinil is the S isomer, and armodafinil is the R isomer, which is more potent. And just like Adderall and Concerta, modafinil can have a dose-dependent biphasic effect on cognition. This means that at low to moderate doses, they can actually improve learning and memory, but at high doses, they impair cognitive function. Modafinil is also similar to Adderall in its mechanism of action. They both inhibit the reuptake
Is that a
of
guy?
dopamine and norepinephrine, therefore
Is that
I was
a
just
guy?
looking at the necklaces.
I thought you were checking if it was a guy.
I don't think it's a guy.
That's
no.
not a guy, right?
No.
increasing the amount of dopamine and norepinephrine in the synapse.
All right,
But
back to me getting a
modafinil is
hard
only
on.
a Schedule 4 medication, whereas those
Should we
other
take
stimulants
modafinil?
are Schedule 2. And why is that?
I heard
and there's
people
three main
take
reasons.
modafinil.
The first one is that modafinil causes a tonic firing of dopamine.
But it
which basically
causes
means
tonic
just a
firing
slow
of
and
dopamine.
steady release of dopamine throughout the day, which is in contrast.
And I don't
to
like my
phasic
firing to be
of dopamine,
tonic.
which is random.
I like to be
bursts of dopamine.
sporadic.
And some of this can be good and reinforce positive behaviors, but when it gets out of control, it can hijack the system and reinforce negative behaviors. The second reason has to do with its chirality, which is right there. And this is how it binds to the dopamine reuptake inhibitor. This is modafinil and this is bupropion, and they both cause a closed conformation. Versus these other two drugs here, which I can't say the name of because of community guidelines, but when they bind to the dopamine pump, they cause a more open conformation. The third reason is that it has a slower onset and longer duration of action than
You
other
can't say a drug
stimulants
name
that
because
can be
it's
used.
against the
main side
Instagram
effect is
community
headache,
guidelines.
Which is dose dependent. There's also a risk for rash. It's activating, so
Thank
anxiety,
God for Elon
nervousness,
Musk, man.
irritability,
He's gonna
insomnia.
save
It can
everything.
This has
increase
gotta
blood
stop,
pressure and
this
heart rate, and
Chinese
it's rare, but it can cause reactivation
Newspeak,
of hypomania,
1984 shit.
hallucinations.
If
But
we ever meet
overall,
Elon
this was
Musk,
a
I'm
really
showing
cool
him
man.
this video.
Follow for more.
Because first of all, if he fucked Grimes, then me and him have the same exact taste. I want to be like, Elon, look at this. And it's just like a picture of something I would like crank my too. And he's like this. Oh, that's quite good. That's funny. Oh, that's quite good.
It's actually quite good.
Did you see the girl who talks about the pills? He's like this. Yep. I'm like this. He's like, and then he stops the party and asks only me if I want to go to space. He's like this. Do you want to go to space? I'm like this. We walk on a catwalk overlooking. There's like 98-pound art students being manufactured in mass. And he's got a funny name for them. It's called his bedroom or something. That laboratory is called his bedroom. My bedroom.
Can we look up image of a human cell? Is this real or is this CG? Supposedly, it says it's an image of a human cell, but is it computer generated? Or is it a what's the backstory here? What's that one that says human cell image isn't what it to the right there?
Are you telling me there's no mitochondria in any of these cells? There's no vacuoles?
Isn't what it seems.
Is there cytoplasm?
Okay, hold on a second.
Wait, there's phytoplasm.
Features this is not a beautiful tapestry. This is not a painting. This is the most detailed. The image has been published elsewhere. Blah blah blah.
The mitochondria is where the energy is stored.
And let's scroll down.
There's the tapeworm.
Okay, the image in the post is a digitally rendered model of a eukaryotic cell designed as an interactive scientific learning tool. Extremely misleading to suggest that as an image of a real human cell as it would exist in its natural state.
So we've been being lied to by our science teachers?
Yes. But nevertheless, kind of fascinating.
Imagine if we couldn't take the fucking pictures of what they really look like in a cell.
I don't think we can we?
No, like if the human mind couldn't handle what it actually looked like.
Right, yeah.
Like you zoomed in on it and it was like zooming in on Google Earth.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking homeless guy fucking on Kensington.
But
why'd you look that up?
Just because it was thinking about Elon Musk. There was a Facebook post and all the comments were like, this is proof that God doesn't exist because if it were designed, it would be so much simpler. Shit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Where there would just be like Bibles on one side and then the cell stuff on the other side?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that
Can
supposed to mean?
you scroll up? Is there a link to the original Facebook post? Let's look on Reddit. Look up NASA cell image Reddit. It's probably interesting as fuck. Humanity is just a 90s cinema carpet pattern. Can you imagine saying something that like
European
faced with something? I mean, it's a computer rendering, but faced with something so like breathtaking, and you say humanity is just a 90s cinema carpet pattern. That would be like if you told me that you were having a kid or something, and I was like, well, kids are like peanuts that come from a peanut bush. They fall off onto the ground, so good luck with that. Like, can you imagine saying like something so immense, and you're saying, and you're what you say is, yeah, well, it looks like the telephone booth from Doctor Who. I've watched thousands of science fiction films. Source: I've watched thousands of science fiction films and TV shows. That's my source.
I've seen
this thousands of times in cinema and entertainment. That's my source, Nick. You want to fact check me now?
Fair enough. I mean, how many writers worked on those shows that had that?
Hundreds.
It's actually a better way of doing research than doing research by watching thousands of different viewpoints. Which, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Does a writer want to look foolish?
Half of them got to be true.
That goes through a vetting process. Then no writer's going to stamp his work with some fake facts.
You know that if it's in a movie, it has to be real.
Not only real, the most valid point on the topic.